welcome you once again live inside the Paco Arena here at the City of Manila, wherein we still have one match left in our thrilling quadruple header as we check out the matches for today. Nanalo po ang San Beda kanina in 3 sets over Arellano, and FEU also won against LaSalle, and the NU Bulldogs punching their ticket to the finals of the men's volleyball competition of the vleague by winning in 3 sets against the UPHSD Altas. And our match at hand is between the Ateneo Blue Eagles and the UST Golden Spikers. Good afternoon, everyone. Lawrence Fernandez here together with Marge Tejada. And Marge, it's an all-UAAP battle between Ateneo and UST.
Yes, I feel like this is gonna be a tight match today, no? Especially na yung importance ng match na to is if they win, they would win a ticket to the finals.
Yeah, unahin natin i-discuss ang Ateneo. They have a 5-1 record coming into this game, and they won in 3 sets against their old rivals, the DLSU Green Spikers, in the quarterfinals. At isa sa mga player na nagpakita ng husto dun sa laban na yon ay si Abay Lienos, who had 21 points. How big of a factor Abay Lienos will be in this game against UST?
Well, for one, Abay Lienos, we know na he's one of the really good hitters nitong Ateneo, and it would be a good sign for Ateneo if they are able to bank on his attacking prowess.
Aside from Abay Lienos, ito rin si Ken Batas, also doing wonders for Ateneo. Had 8 points in that game against DLSU, but leading the way in terms of scoring, averaging 13.5 points per game. So Abay Lienos delivering the goods, and it would be better also for Ateneo if Batas will continue his good performance here in the V-League.
Yes, definitely. So, syempre, you know, you can't always just bank on one person to rack up the points for your team.
Samantala naman sa UST, they have their strong player sa panig na ito in the person of G-Boy De Vega. He had 23 points rather in that 5-setter against FEU, and also had 18 excellent receptions. So how vital is it for De Vega to not just deliver the points but also provide excellent floor defense?
Well, for one, we know that Ateneo is they're a good attacking team. So not just De Vega but also the whole of UST needs to work on their blocking defense and their floor defense as well.
And also the supporting cast for UST, isa dyan si Josh Ibanez. Did well against FEU. He had 17 points, also had 8 excellent digs and 3 kill blocks doon sa kanyang 17 points. Ibanez not that tall, but yet when he jumps, when he attacks, nandoon talaga yung puwersa for Ibanez.
Parang for him, you know, we say volleyball height is might, but then if you have Josh Ibanez there, he just proves na anong height, If I can jump high, I'm just as tall as everyone else in this game.
So which team will face NU in the finals of the Men's V-League 2022 Challenge Cup? Will it be Ateneo? Will it be UST? We will bring you live action next here at the V-League.
Presenting our national officials for this match. First referee, Mr. Roberto Javier. Second referee, Mr. Erlindo Eusebio. Let us welcome our starting lineup. From our Ateneo Blue Eagles. Let's begin with number 4, Jetli Gopio. At number 5, Kennedy Batas. Wearing jersey number 7, James Daniel Licauco. At number 11, Canciano Lienos. Wearing jersey number 21, Kale Blomstead. And at number 22, Charles Absin. Libero, team captain, Lance Andre De Castro. Presenting our Growling Tigers from the University of Santo Tomas. Number 1, Ray Miguel De Vega. At number 3, Charlie Magpayo. Wearing jersey number 7, Dux Ivan Yambao. Wearing jersey number 10, Rainier Floor. Number 13, Josh Ibanez. And number 24, J-Rack de la Noche. Libero, number 18, Van Tracy Prudenciado. Head coach, Mr. Arthur Oji Mamon.
Checking out the lineups, starting lineups that is for the Ateneo Blue Eagles. We have Abay Lienos, Kale Bloomstead is now starting. Charles Absin, Jetli Gopio, Ken Batas, James Licauco, their setter, and their starting libero is Lance De Castro. Meanwhile, on the part of UST, we have G-Boy De Vega, Charlie Magpayo, Dux Yambao, Josh Ibanez, Rainier Flor, J-Rack de la Noche, and Van Tracy Prudenciado, their starting libero. Our first referee is Roberto Javier, and Erlindo Eusebio is our second referee. So we'll have a challenge with our scoreboard here at the Paco Arena, but we have a secondary scoreboard that is, so we'll have to keep a close eye on the count in the semifinal match between Ateneo and UST. So just like what has Coach Mac Gopela has mentioned earlier, the winner of this match will face NU in the finals of men's volleyball.
So this is just as crucial as the first game a while ago.
Yeah, and that could be a costly mistake if it adds up those errors for UST. That's why first point goes to the Blue Eagles. So for Ateneo, what would be the keys to victory for them to enter the finals?
Well, for one, no, we know UST is also a good attacking team. So what Ateneo needs to establish their blocking system when it comes to, and if that doesn't work, they have to work on their floor defense.
Yeah, on the part of UST, what would help them punch a ticket against NU?
Against
Yeah, against NU. UST, what would help them enter the finals against NU?
Well, for one, no, just like, you know, it's always just the same. You have to work on your blocking system, your defense. I mean, we know, like I said, UST is also a good attacking team. So what other aspects they could work on is, you know, their floor defense and their net defense.
So both teams getting their first point in the opening set of the semifinal matchup. Dux Yambao, combination play, Josh Ibanez flying. But De Castro was there. Second servings for UST. That attack dug by Ateneo. Mad scramble for the Blue Eagles. And that net touch for UST gives Ateneo its second point.
Yes.
Mukhang nanggigil yung attacker doon.
Yes.
Itong si Magpayo.
And nakita mo, yung libero ng Ateneo, he jumped for that ball and he's not a middle blocker.
Yun nga eh. Well, anything you can do to defend and stop the other team from scoring a point.
De Castro's defense instinct there, just kicking in.
But it's great to know that the energy of De Castro
Yes.
being team captain,
Yes.
that kind of energy will rub off eventually to his teammates if
Yes.
they are to succeed against UST in this game. Charles Absin on deck to serve for the Blue Eagles. 3 serving 1. Good serve for Absin. Dax Yambao sends it to the other side to Ibanez, but that attack did not sail over.
So far, it has been chain of attack errors coming from UST.
Yeah, that succession of errors for UST, giving Ateneo a 3-point advantage. It's now 4-1. And that's 2 attack errors also for
Yes.
Josh Ibanez early in this game. Absin once again, sharp serve. Yambao jumping, set, back set, and that's good for
Good
UST.
block. So far, Ateneo's blocking system has been, really on point.
Stand
Well-
corrected, that's the point for Ateneo, that is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that-
Nauhuli nila yung
yeah.
atake nitong
Yeah.
UST. Yeah. Kapag ganyan that Ateneo's blocking is working, what can USD do to go around that net defense? As we check out that attack by Ibanez first.
What an attack.
Yeah.
What USD needs to do is, of course, magpaikot sila ng bola. Because, the more na the setter distributes the ball to a lot of players, it will be harder for the blockers of Ateneo to read who is the setter going to set to.
So far, UST hoping to catch up. Charlie Magpayo with the service. Licauco reading the defense of UST.
Wow.
That quick attack to Gopio. It's good.
Well timed. Quick attack there by Gopio.
Yeah, hindi nakaporma ang depensa ng UST that time
Yes.
of that attack by Jet Li Gopio. Ken Batas on deck to serve for the Blue Eagles. Jumping serve for Ken Batas. Straight to
pass.
Prudenciado. Yambao. Middle attack to Flor. Nabitin yung talon ni Flor doon. Second serving. Ibanez this time.
Again, Ibanez so far has been successful attacking that zone 1.
So as we check out that replay one more time, nice fake by Flor. At ayun nga, tinusubukan niya yung
Yeah.
depensa ni Ken Batas doon. That's 2 quick points, straight points rather for Josh Ibanez, atoning for his earlier errors from the attacks. 3 serving 6, J-Rack de la Noche with the service.
Good pass.
Straight to De Castro, Licauco to Batas. Dug by Yambao, but no one was able to get that second
Yes.
ball.
Hindi agad nakababa si Josh Ibanez to get that ball.
Yes, si Josh Ibanez yung pinakamalapit sa bola that time. That's
Yes.
why Coach Oji Mamon is talking to him.
But then kasi he came from a block. So medyo from jumping high, it's kind of difficult to really get down low to get that ball.
Ibanez doing his best that time.
Ball
Yambao with a
still
1-2 play. Jaws at the net, won by
Oh.
Lienos.
Too strong.
But that's too strong for Abay. So that attack sails out for Lienos. So it's now 4 serving 7. UST trying to overhaul this 3-point deficit. Josh Ibanez on deck to serve for UST from General Santos City. Itong si Josh Ibanez. Strong
Powerful serve.
Bloomstead was there for the reception.
Wow.
Strong attack for Batas. De La Noche tries to give chase. But
That's an
too
even
far for-
stronger attack. No?
Kung malakas silang mag-serve,
Mag-serve.
malakas din silang pumalo. That's why
Yes.
Ateneo, after the first technical timeout, up 8-4.
We are still coming to you live here from the Paco Arena for the second match of our men's semifinals. It's the Ateneo Blue Eagles versus the UST Growling Tigers. Katipunan versus Espanya nga ang labanan natin today, and on the side of the UST Growling Tigers, Coach Ogie Mamon said that his boys are very eager to play today, and in fact wala daw silang kabang nararamdaman coming into the Paco Arena. For the Ateneo Blue Eagles naman, who were coming from a win last week, they're hoping na magtuloy-tuloy daw ang momentum nila because they're only one step away from bagging a seat in the finals. To me, both coaches from two teams are obviously bringing with high hopes. Kaya naman, let's see kung kanino papabor ang panalo, sa Katipunan nga ba o sa Espanya, Lawrence and Marge?
So in a way, this is a historical war, just like what Mika Madrid mentioned. But so far, Ateneo having the advantage 8-4.
Yes.
And after that ace by Jet Ligopio, it's now 9-4. But going back to the report of Mika, both teams have already proven that they can come back from any deficit.
Yes. And that's a good thing, no? Na even if they commit these mistakes, they're able to come back to get those points again.
Yeah, let's not forget that quarterfinal matchup by Ateneo. If you check out that quick attack by Floor,
Yes.
atoning for his earlier mistake. So since UST scored a point, let's not forget their win against FEU.
Yes.
They lost the first two sets, and then they went on a reverse sweep.
Yes,
Yeah,
they were able to come back in 5 sets.
that's 5 thrilling sets that is to be able to book this ticket to the semifinals. Samantalang Ateneo, yun nga, hinabol nila malaking kalamangan against DLSU in their quarterfinal matchup as well.
Good attack by Batas.
Yeah, presence of mind on the
Yes.
part of Ken Batas going for the soft tip.
Nakita niya na yung defense yung floor defense ng UST, medyo naka-atras na sa likod, and you just use that opportunity to just place the ball and like where exactly he wants it.
Yeah, heads up play for Batas gives Ateneo point number 10. Yambao trying the 1-2 play, but Lienos was there waiting. Magpayos attack, no. Lienos this time, soft tip for him as well. Yambao with the second ball, Ibanez with the back row attack. Bullseye, zone 1.
Good presence of mind, no, nito ni Ibanez. Even though that ball wasn't in play, he was able to attack that ball and hit where walang tao dun sa defense, sa court ng Ateneo.
Yeah, it looked like an out-of-system play for UST.
Yes.
Pero nagawan pa rin ng paraan ni Josh Ibanez. Josh Ibanez growing with each game in this tournament. Let's not forget he's a rookie for UST. But he's playing like a veteran.
Yes.
Etong si Josh Ibanez, and there he is, presence of mind to avoid the ball. At nakakahabol ang UST slightly dito sa ating laban.
And that's a good thing for UST. No? Now you have a rookie player who is, playing, like you said, playing like a veteran.
Yeah.
And it's those kinds of players that you need, especially in crucial games like this.
Yeah, parang hindi nagpapakita ng kaba si Josh
Yes.
Ibanez, especially in their last time around. And UST will have an opportunity to score after that easy over. Charlie Magpayo delivers from the middle.
When it comes to volleyball, it's hindi naman sa but like, as much as possible, you don't give out an easy free ball to your opponent. Kasi those kinds of attacks, no, malaki yung percentage na your opponent could score.
Yeah, especially at this level. I mean, these players have been through a lot. That's access denied.
What a block
UST.
by J-Rack there.
Nayanig ang Paco Arena dun sa block na yun. Ganun kalakas ang block ni De La Noche. And from a high of 5 points, this lead is just down to 1. So that's a 4-0 run for the Golden Spikers of UST. Yambao on deck to serve. Soft serve for Yambao.
Good
Straight
pass.
to Bloomstead. Dicauco, fake by Absinthe. Ayun na naman si Ken Batas.
Yes. Just finding the holes sa floor defense ng UST.
Oo, nahanapan lang niya ng gap eh. Yun ang laruan ni Ken Batas.
Yes.
But it's successful kasi it delivered him 2 points.
Yes.
11-9. Yeah.
I mean, diba, parang bakit pa ako magpapakahirap na labanan yung blockers ko if I could just, tip the ball over where the floor defense has a hold.
Nga nga, and that presence of mind by Batas extends Ateneo's lead to 2. Yambao sets it to Magpayo. Llanos was there for the dig. Bloomstead was there for the defense.
Ball is
And
still in
Ateneo
play.
will send the ball over easily. Pagkakataon for UST to score. And they do off that attack by De La Noche. Medyo mahirap pa yung set ni Yambao.
Yes. Sobrang tight.
Umikot pa siya ng konti towards the direction of De La Noche. At kapag ganun kahirap yung set, may hiya ka bilang attacker not to deliver. 10 serving 11. On deck to service G-Boy De Vega. Leading scorer for UST, averaging 16.8 points per game.
Good pass.
Licauco sends it to Bloomstead to the open. Slowed down by De La Noche. Back row attack by De Vega. Finding zone 1.
Yes. Ateneo caught a bit off guard in that back row, that 1-2 attack.
Let's check it out one more time. Yambao just putting the ball up for De Vega. And De Vega putting all his power behind that attack. So that's a 6-1 run for UST in the middle part of set number 1, forcing a tie at 11.
That's
But
an error.
A service error at that for De Vega, and he's quick to apologize to his coach and to the bench. Siyempre, yun yung mga bagay na gusto mong iwasan, especially in a close contest, yung mga ganyang service error.
Because, you know, it's this little errors that what could make it costly for each team.
No, those add up. It could be trouble for either team. Ibanez flying high, but the point goes to Ateneo.
So far, etong si Josh Ibanez, he's been targeting talaga itong zone 1.
Oh, parang most of his attacks, if not all, doon sa zone na yun, doon sa area na yun.
Yes. Well, for one kasi, that's a difficult angle for a setter to, like, kung saan nang gagaling yung bola, it's a difficult angle for the setter. Siyempre, iikot pa kasi siya. Unlike if the ball is coming from the cross court, papunta sa kanya yung bola.
Bloomstead this time with an attack. Soft tip by De La Noche, but that was blocked also by Jet Gopio rather.
Yes. Gopio, sorry.
So the attack of Ibanez earlier, tinatarget niya talaga in zone 1. It's essentially high risk, high reward kind of targeting attack. But so far the rewards hasn't come too often for Ibanez, and another service error in this set. This time on the part of Ateneo. That's why UST being able to come close to Ateneo, 12 serving 14. Kanina, 5 pa nga yan lamang ng Ateneo, 10-5, and now it's just down to 2. Charlie Magpayo serving straight to Bloomstead. Bata second ball. Llenos, back row attack. Malakas ang palo from Abay Llenos. Nice elevation on the part of Abay Llenos. Parang alam na niya na papasok no? Approach pa lang. 15-12 is the count.
Good pass.
Yambao.
Miss communication in the attack there for UST.
Yeah, hindi nagkaamo yan si Flor at si Yambao doon. Kaya naman pupunta tayo sa ating second technical timeout. Ateneo up 16-12. After the second technical timeout of the opening set, we have the Ateneo Blue Eagles up 4, 16-12. It has been a game of runs, Marge. Kanina, 10-5 kalamangan ng Ateneo. UST responding by tying the game to 11-all. But Ateneo having a run of their own. That's why we have the count of 16-12. Towards the, as we go to the second technical timeout, what were the positives for Ateneo? That's why they were able to build this 4-point lead.
Well, for one, it's their floor defense that's been working for them. I mean, hindi perfectly, not all the time perfect na itataas yung bola. But, you know, this quick reflexes of the libero like Castro, they're still able to put the ball in play.
Good response of a timeout, technical timeout that is for UST. That quick attack by Floor at the middle trims the lead of Ateneo to 3. Bloomstead with an attack, but that sails out. Sinusubukan pa ni Bloomstead humingi ng
Yes.
check ball pero hindi ibibigay yan ng ating first referee na si Roberto Javier. So 2 quick points for UST, cutting Ateneo's lead in half. 14 serving 16. De La Noche serving for UST.
Good pass.
Licauco, one hand set to Gopio.
Good thinking there by Gopio, no? But he saw that set was a bit low for him. So nag-adjust na lang siya.
Yeah, parang tinaas na lang niya yung bola.
Yeah.
Quick presence of mind for Jet Gopio.
Yes, UST's defense was there, but parang medyo masyado niya naunahan yung bola.
At naunahan nga sila on the spot,
Yes.
no, ni Gopio, but Bloomstead cannot find the target with his service, giving another point to Ateneo. And Coach Oji Mamon is already barking instructions to his boys. Kanina sa sideline, during the technical timeout, he was already furious,
Yes.
pointing out some errors of UST. So far, it's working to the side of the Tigers, and that's 3
Yes.
points for UST. So parang that sequence naman, ginagaya ni Lieno si Ibanez na just targeting down the line.
Zone 1.
Uh,
Magkita din naman niya na medyo may malaking butas nga when it comes to zone 1 dito sa side ng UST.
yeah, the reward did not come with that risky attack by Lienos. Licauco one hand set and a nice diving save by Ken Batas. Easy over by Lienos. De La Vega was there waiting. Yambao jumping set. Ibanez back row. Check ball.
Yes.
Kaya puntos yan para sa UST at tabla na naman tayo sa 17. So that's a 5-1 run.
Yes. So far, Josh Ibanez has been a good factor for UST here when it comes to attacks. Kasi harap, likod, itong si Mbao, sinisitan niya talaga si Josh Ibanez.
So pretty much how Louis Ramirez played against Enyo kanina.
Yes.
Yeah, that quick attack by De Vega, he won't be denied. That's why UST now in the driver's seat and Ateneo will press for time. Let's listen in.
Hey, why are you in a rush? Lahat ang receive na tinutulak mo. Why are you pushing? You have to bump it up. Okay? Hey, we have too many errors. Huh? Because you want to finish the set already. No, we will not finish it with the way we're playing. You have to be specific ano muna yung kailangan gawin. One good receive, bump it up, then hayaan mo yung setter. Okay?
If you have to receive,
Okay.
we have to double time in terms of our receive.
We just have to...
Give me first,
Okay,
we have to
go.
double time. Let's go. Focus time.
So there we have Coach Timmy reminding his players not to start off with a good pass before they're able to attack.
Yeah,
Kasi
check out some of the faces from our ecstatic crowd here in the semifinal matchup. Yeah, you were saying more.
Yeah, I was saying, kasi so far, in the bago mag-second technical timeout, medyo nagsistruggle itong Ateneo when it comes to their first ball.
Yeah, and they have to go back to perfect passing if they are to execute their attacks. And that ball clearly is out for Ken
Yes.
Batas. Aabot ng katipunan yung atake niya na yun. Sobrang haba. This is now a 2-point lead for UST. So they
Yes.
were down 4, 16-12. So that's now a 7-1 run for the Tiger Spikers. Josh Ibanez,
Powerful
strong
serve.
serve. Licauco goes to Gopio. At ayun na naman yung puntos ni
Yes.
Gopio.
Yung mga last minute change ng attack.
Minsan nakakalin lang din yan. But, a very unfortunate picture here. So check out that sequence one more time. A score from Gopio,
Yeah.
but Yambao is on the floor and clearly in pain. Seems like his knee was the one that got hit. And the UST crowd trying to cheer Dax Yambao on. He seems to be okay. Yeah, he's shaking it off. Oh, ayun lang ha. Pinagpag lang niya yung na yun, yung iniinda niya yun. Siguro but Coach Oji Mamon not risking
Yes.
Yambao's injury because
Of course.
Medyo ika-ika siya nung
Oo.
tumakbo pa siya dito sa sideline eh.
I think it was his ankle, not his
Yeah.
knee. Kasi, ayan, as you can see, he's doing small hops just to be able to move around.
Yeah, let's hope that Dak Xiambao will
Yeah,
be
it's
in better
nothing
condition,
yeah,
nothing serious. In the meantime, back to action. That service by Jet
error.
Gopyo goes out. Mukhang si Jet Gopyo nanlamig after that injury by Yambao. But of course, we hope for the best for
Yes.
Dak Xiambao. We'll get more, or we'll get an update on his condition from our courtside reporter Mika Madrid. UST enjoying a 2-point advantage. Absin running attack, slowed down by UST. Lawrence Cruz this time doing the setting duties for the Tigers Spikers. G-Boy De Vega with a tip. Diving save by Batas. Lienos ang atake. Dug by UST. De Vega susubok muli. Dug by De Castro. Licauco sets it up for Batas. Net touch.
Net touch called on UST. Medyo nanggigil si G-Boy De Vega. Am I right? Tama, G-Boy?
Yeah,
yes.
G-Boy.
De Vega no, i-block si Ken Batas doon.
Wala na siyang nagawa kasi huling-huli siya dun eh. Talagang sumayad
Yes.
yung braso niya. Kaya napasori na lang siya sa huddle ng UST.
Yes.
So 19 serving 20. James Licauco on deck to serve.
Good pass.
Lawrence Cruz, G-Boy De Vega. And that's another point for
Yes.
Ateneo. We're tied at 20.
De Vega was a bit too early on that set.
Oo nga eh. Gusto niyang i-dunk pero
Yes.
kapos yung kanyang pagkakapalo. That's why UST will press for time.
Ano ka nang gigigil? Hindi naman, wala man 2 points. Pag pinaputok mo yung bola, madi-dead ball pa yun. Ibig sa pumuntos tayo. Shoot lang. High shoot lang. Pasamaan mo yung gitna. Eh, simpleng block. Gusto nyo agad patayin pag umaatake ka lang, kayo papatay. Iporma nyo lang yung net defense natin. Magtiwala kayo sa floor defense natin. Kumalma ka.
Yeah, so from that huddle of Coach Oji Mamon, he's basically telling UST to calm their nerves,
Yes.
to slow things down, especially to G-Boy De Vega who had 2 succession or
Yes.
2 consecutive errors that is.
Probably yung adrenaline niya, no? Yung
Oo.
adrenaline rush is just way too high.
Parang nanggigigil siya
Yeah.
dito sa laro. And those 2 errors by De Vega costly because it allowed Ateneo to tie this game at
Yes.
20. Babawi sana si De Vega but his attack was slowed down. Lienos doing his best. Back row attack, Ibanez.
That goes out.
Unfortunately, that goes out.
Oh, but it's a net violation called on Ateneo.
So, despite that ball sailing out, may block touch. Oo.
Lucky break for Ibanez.
Oh, nakipag-appear pa si Coach Oji Mamon doon sa sequence na yon.
Yes.
UST with a 1-point lead. Lawrence Cruz serving. Back set, Licauco. Llanos blocked. Bloomstead sends the ball over. UST will have an opportunity to score. Licauco with the first ball. Bloomstead sends it to Ken Batas. Dug by Prudenciado. Ibanez back row attack. Soft tip. But that was
Good
tip.
read. Yes, good read there by Ken Batas and Absin.
Mukhang hindi rin nakatulong yung hesitation ni Josh Ibanez
Yeah.
doon to go for a soft tip at the last minute.
I think he was aiming for yung likod lang ng blockers.
Oo.
Kasi nakita niya na medyo naka-atras yung floor defense ng Ateneo. Yun nga lang talagang kinulang siya doon.
Mahina yung palo niya.
Yes.
So despite that leading by team captain Lawrence Cruz to our first referee Roberto Javier, the point stands and that strong
Powerful
serve by
serve.
Arbay Lienos dug and a strong attack by De Vega is blocked.
By Absin.
The Charles Absin, consecutive heads-up defensive plays.
Yes.
Here he is so far, delivering point number 22 to Ateneo. USD not far behind at 21. Arbay Lienos on deck to serve and receiving instructions from team captain Lance De Castro before he takes this service. Para the jump serve for Lienos.
Powerful serve.
Napakalakas nga talaga.
Yes.
Back set ni Lawrence Cruz, but that was blocked again. Oh, nagkabanggaan pa si Ibanez at
Miscommunication.
Prudenciado doon.
Yes.
Ano nangyari doon, Marge?
Both players were aiming to go for the second ball. It's just a matter of miscommunication.
Yeah, let's hear it from UST.
We have no business there. Yung puntos na yan, nahirapan tayong habulin at lumamang. Kaso, ayan na naman, dikit-dikit na naman yung ano natin, errors natin. Okay. Why are you so eager? Kalma. Sinabi ko sa inyo, sinong kalma, lalo na sa endgame, yung crucial stage of the set, ha? Lamang. Kaso hindi kayo ano. Masyado kayong gigil.
So we have there, Coach Oji reminding again, like from the previous timeout, na to calm their nerves down, Kasi sobrang nagigil and it shows na nagigil and they're too eager to go for that ball na yung communication nila nawawala.
Ngayon, nawawala rin sila sa sistema because of their excessive eagerness that is. And this time, De La Noche was dug by Lienos. 1-2 play by Batas was dug by Hidden Shadow. This time, De Vega delivers on a point.
De Vega just spiking over the blockers of Ateneo.
Yeah, let's check that out one more time. Mad scramble for UST. Lawrence Cruz setting it to De Vega. At hindi na naiangat yung bola doon. This time, De Vega, good response of a timeout for him.
Yes.
Parang siya rin yung pinapatamaan ni Coach Oji Mamon kanina. Like, calm your nerves. Chill lang. Ayun, kasi he had some attack errors earlier.
Yes.
Licauco with the second ball. Lienos doing his best. Almost a point for Ateneo.
Wow.
That attack goes through the
Good
block.
attack. Yes. If you look at J-Rock De La Noche, medyo pinadelay din niya yung attack niya doon and he really looked for the hands of the blockers of Ateneo.
Oo, sinipat niya muna yung pagkakapwesto ng braso ng mga defenders ng Ateneo at the net. That's 2 quick points courtesy of De Vega and also De La Noche.
And I guess it pays for De La Noche because he's a beach volleyball player, so you know that this player has a really good court vision.
Yeah, good advantage.
Wow!
And that booming attack
What an attack!
by Josh Ibanez. Let's check that out one more time. Good fake by Mike Payo and a single block.
Yes.
Walang magagawa si Ken Batas doon, na-late pa siya. That's why Ateneo will press for time. Let's listen in.
Alam mo lang kikaiba niya si bibigay yung bola eh. Bakit ito sumasama sa gitna? Abay, kailangan natin rin sabi sa inyo, you have to be specific eh. Sila jump serve, tinatapatan na lang yung bola eh. Okay, kailangan natin mag-first ball. Bakit ba kasi pinipilit yung isiksik sa net yung bola? Sabi sa inyo, di ba? Pag malakas yung serve, bump up!
Pinipilit po sa
Understand? Bump up. Sumunod sa system. Okay. Kennedy, alam mo na sa kanya dadalhin. Ready ka, dito na.
Yeah, Coach Tim Santo Tomas basically reminding the Blue Eagles to have better presence of mind.
Yes.
Especially if they can already anticipate what's coming.
Yes.
Just like that attack by Ibanez. And yet, they're still slow on their feet in that sequence.
And then again, ni-remind din ni Coach Timmy yung players niya to start with their first ball kasi nga it has been they have been struggling for a bit when it comes to their first balls.
Unfortunately, that timeout parang hindi na kinailangan ng Ateneo because that's a service error by G-Boy De Vega. Some substitutions on the part of Ateneo. Absin will check out and Crisostomo, their service specialist, will check in. And we are tied at 24, so this is a juice in our opening frame. So if this is an indication of how tightly this contest will be fought, we're in for a thriller, that is. Crisostomo, diretso kay De Vega. Lawrence Cruz to Ibanez once again.
And so far talaga, Ibanez has been targeting zone 1.
Oo, hindi nagbabago yung atake
Yes.
niya, Let's check it out one more time. Kanina, it's a softer hit for him.
Yes.
Yet, it's good. It's still same zone na hindi na naiangat ni Licauco that time.
Well, for one, it's a smart attack of Ibanez kasi you have a tall blocker like Gopio
Yeah.
who is up against you. So, syempre, iiwas mo na yung palo mo doon.
And again, just
an
as
error from
UST gets a set
here.
point. May kasamang gigil yung service na yun ni Charlie Magpayo. That's why Coach Oji Mamon has some choice words for Magpayo at the sideline. So that forces another juice, 25 all. We're still in the first set, folks, by the way. Ken Batas,
Good
diretso
serve.
kay
Good
Ibanez.
pass.
Lawrence Cruz. Again, combination play. Ibanez, but that was saved by Gopio. Bloomstead attacking, but blocked. De Castro was there for the save. Bloomstead, second serving. But
Net
that's a point for
violation.
Ateneo.
Yes, that violation called on UST.
Yeah, I guess Floor was the one who clipped the net.
Yes. Sobrang crucial ng mga
Oo.
unforced errors na ganito at this part of the set.
Especially now, Ateneo now has set point. Laking bagay yung error na yan. Ken Batas on deck to serve for the Blue Eagles. Strong serve.
Serve.
Straight to Prudenciado. Lawrence Cruz jumping set. Ibanez blocked. Second serving. But that will not be
Yes.
saved.
Good block by Gopio.
And that block by Jet Gopio of that attack by Josh Ibanez closes set number 1. 27-25 is the count in favor of the Blue Eagles. And we will be back with set number 2. This is the vleague. After the first set, Ateneo edging UST 27-25. UST had its runs. Ateneo also had its runs. They had their fair share of great attacks.
Yes.
As we check out that attack by Josh Ibanez and also Ken Batas with that good cross-court hit. But eventually, Ateneo found a way to have that slight edge. What
Yes.
helped them go over UST in that set 1?
Well, for one, no, it's their floor defense, no. Like I said kanina, kahit hindi na angat na maayos, you know, the ball is still in play. They're still able to put it back sa court ng UST and, you know, like, they try to make a way to make a point out of that. And then, also, what helped Ateneo is itong unforced errors ng UST, which has been definitely a lot. And if you look at, no, medyo yung 3 small points ng errors ng UST medyo crucial talaga, especially na those errors were committed in the latter part of the set.
Yeah, especially that big advantage in blocks also for Ateneo, 5-1. Kasama na dyan yung panapos ng Ateneo, yung kill blocks ni Jet Gopio on Josh Ibanez. Kaya naman naisara yung talaan at 27-25. But UST was right there. They had their runs. They were
Yes.
able to surmount whatever advantages
Yeah.
Ateneo had. Ano pa yung kulang sa nilaro nila? That's why they eventually lost the opening frame.
And then going back no, sa first set, you know, I guess UST needs to play calmer. Kasi
Yeah.
nga, parang the past 2 timeouts na kinol ni Coach Oji, he just keeps reminding his players to calm down.
Yeah, and that's not a good indication of calming down. Another net touch infraction on the part of UST. That's why Ateneo, or rather that's a point for UST. Yeah, I stand corrected. That's a good attack for G-Boy De Vega, that is.
Good pass.
Licauco sets it to Absin. Bilis na bawi para sa Ateneo.
Yes.
1-all ng ating talaan. So the middle blockers of Ateneo doing their best or imparting a lot of influence in this match.
Yes.
Kanina yung block ni Gopio, and this time a quick attack by Charles Absin.
Yes. And pretty crucial na Ateneo needs to activate also itong middle blockers nila. But, you know, so far in the first set, medyo they're not able to do that when it comes to attacks. Kasi nga, medyo hirap sila to put up their first balls well for the set or to set it up for their blockers.
Yeah, but at that time, a good attack from Licauco to Batas. So it's now 2-1. And Abay Lienos on deck to serve for the Blue Eagles. Abay Lienos had 21 points in their last game, averaging 10.1 per
Strong
game.
serve. Good pass.
Strong serve by Lienos and a tip by De La Noche.
Finding that hole in the floor defense of Ateneo.
Yeah, De La Noche said, whatever works, I'll use it to my advantage. And at that time, it gives UST point number 2.
Yes. Actually, he was kind of early on that set. Kaya nag-adjust na lang siya. He just tipped the ball over, and lucky na talagang he found the hole in the floor defense of Ateneo.
Yeah, minsan may nakagulat na set na ganyan yung may nakabuntos. That time, De La Noche proved it. Batas with a strong attack, but dug by Prudenciado. Back row attack by Ibanez.
But that goes out.
That's a long attack for Josh Ibanez.
Yes. Just imagine the energy he puts on his jumps, no? And he has to do it until maka-reach ng 25 ang isang set.
Oh, I know, he is expending a lot of energy.
Yes.
Well, he's one of the younger players, so energy is not a problem for Josh Ibanez.
That's true.
But if he can control most of his attacks, UST will be in a good position in this game. De Vega with a soft tip. Saved by Gopio. Batas for Vicet, but he's blocked. This time, it's Edlin Colinares with the kill block. At may tulong pa ni De Vega doon.
Coverage was there for Ateneo. Yun nga lang, medyo nagkailangan ata ito si
Licauco.
Licauco and si Batas, because I think Batas tried to get that coverage after he hit that ball.
This time, Gopio answers with a point. 4-3 is the count. Ken Batas on deck to serve for UST. Yung atake na yan ni Gopio, sails off the block. Batas jump serve, and that's clearly out.
It goes out.
So that's two quick errors for Batas. Kanina na-kill block siya, and this time that serve is clearly out. That's why Coach Timmy is right beside him,
Yes.
telling some words. 4-all is the count. De La Noche with a jump serve.
Oh,
Ayun
and
din.
then an exchange of service errors here.
Nagkakaingitan sa service errors ng magkabilang panig. But most especially for UST, won't help their cause, especially now that they're down one set.
Yes.
Caleb Bloomstead on deck to serve for Ateneo. He had 2 points in their game against DLSU. Also had 10 excellent receptions. That overset, almost a score for Lienos, but saved by Prudenciado. De Vega attacking, blocked by Gopio. Quick attack by Flor, also denied by Gopio. Third serving for UST. Makakabawi pa ang Ateneo. And that attack by
That
Lienos
goes out.
sails out.
Medyo kinulang ng spin yung bola ni Abay Lienos doon. You know,
Yeah.
if he was able to add a little more spin on that ball, it could have hit the end line of the court.
Yeah, but at that time, the mechanics was not there for Abay Lienos despite the good set. So it's now 5-all. De Vega, strong serve, diretso kay De Castro. Licauco sets it to Gopio. Lawrence Cruz is waiting. De Vega,
Again, another 1-2 play from UST.
yeah, this time 1-2 play and a back row attack.
Yes.
Hindi na pinaset up yung depensa ng Ateneo doon. So that gives UST a 1-point advantage. 6 serving 5. And looks like UST is playing calmer, just like what we said in the first set. They have adjusted to this game, the
Yes.
intensity of this game, that is. Ken Batas is dug by Prudenciado. De Vega giving chase. Kaya lang malakas yung pagkakabump niya ng bola.
Too strong. Again, it's this little errors talaga.
Yeah, if not for those mistakes, either team could be in a better position here in set number 2. But here we are tied at 6. Jet Gopio, middle blocker, ready to serve for the Blue Eagles. Soft serve for Gopio, straight to floor. Lawrence Cruz to Ibanez. Off the triple block. That's good for Ibanez.
Ibanez hitting it out. No? I mean,
Paanggulo yung
pa-swipe
palo.
out
Oo.
yung palo ni Ibanez. I mean, he knew for a fact na ang lalaki ng mga blockers niya in front. So that was actually a smart attack by
Yeah,
Ibanez.
there was already a triple block for Ateneo. And yet, Ibanez still finding a way to get that point. Llanos this time, but a nice dig on the part of floor.
Still in play.
Still in play. De Castro with the first ball. Licauco to Llanos. Strong attack.
Wow.
Off the block and
Really
good.
strong attack
Oo.
by Llanos there.
Kung gaano kalakas mag-serve si Abay Llanos, ganun din yung atake niya, no? And no wonder he has been one of the better players for the Blue Eagles.
Yes.
Especially in this tournament, especially in their last game against DLSU. He carried the team at 21 points.
Almost a set.
Yeah, almost a set, indeed. Strong attack by Colinares, foiled by UST. De Vega naman ang susubok, and a nice dig for Lance De Castro. Batas sends it to goal.
Batas has
easily.
just been finding the holes in the defense of UST.
Parang may ano siya, may presence of mind siya to just
Yeah.
find the hole. And at that time, pushing the ball to zone 1, and that goes in. And after the first technical timeout, Ateneo ahead 8-7. After the first technical timeout of set number 2, Ateneo has a slight 1-point advantage, 8-7. But UST is still in this game, and we turn you over to our courtside reporter, Mika Madrid.
Lawrence and Marge, when I asked Coach Timmy of the Ateneo Blue Eagles kung saan sila kumukuha ng intensity inside the court, sa confidence nga raw sila humuhugot ng lakas ng loob. Ika nga niya, confidence is a choice and it's up to the players if they'll own the spotlight. However, he also said that even though they came from a win in their previous matchup, they had quite a slow start, so that's what they're trying to reverse today. On the USD side naman, medyo magiging challenge nga raw ang pag-maintain ng pwersa after nga mas-sprain sa kanang pa itong si Yambao in the previous set. Back to you guys.
Maraming salamat, Mika Madrid. So there's an update on Yambao. There's a sprain. He's suffering a sprain tong si Dax Yambao. We hope that it's nothing grave that would help cause him to miss a lot of games in his volleyball career. And yet, so far, UST is looking good. At least after the first technical timeout, we're still tied, and that's an ace.
Miscommunication there on the Ateneo side.
Yeah, not a good response of a timeout. We're up 8-7 though, so that's 2 quick points for UST. And Lawrence Cruz, ever since he was brought in, siya yung parang nagdala nung calmness dito sa team ng UST. That's why they're playing better this time. And another attack down the line for Ibanez.
So far talaga, successful si Josh Ibanez whenever he hits down the line. Kasi that one time in the last set na he tried to hit cross, Gopia was there.
Oo, yun yung na-block eh.
Yeah.
Oo, na-block. Tapos yun yung nag-end ng set in favor of Ateneo. So Ibanez going back to strong suit. And Ken Batas, hindi nahulog yung atake na yun.
Very clean attack coming from Ken Batas. Talaga nakita mo na he tried to veer his ball away from the blockers of UST.
And Absin with the fake from the middle, setting up Ken Batas with an attack. So it's now 10 serving 9. Abay Lienos on deck to serve for Ateneo. Another patented jump serve and a strong serve, and that's an ace!
Grabe.
Bumawi sa ace itong si Abay Lienos. Tied at 10. Yung ganyang serve ni Lienos, mahirap talagang basahin. Ano,
Yes.
Marge?
Yes, saka syempre, you know, it's a really strong serve. I mean, kahit matapatan mo, it's up to you how you would be able to put that ball up, no, control that ball up. And kita mo naman si Prudenciano, he's kind of struggling putting that ball up.
And with that struggle of Prudenciano putting up the ball, it followed to a hitting error by Josh Ibanez. Yan, sinesenyas niya si Lawrence Cruz. Setan mo ko ng mas mataas, sabi niya. Yung rookie ang nagsabi dun sa team captain, eh, no? Setan mo ko ng mataas, sabi ni Josh Ibanez kay Lawrence Cruz. But that miss hit gives the lead back to the Blue Eagles, 11 serving 10. Si Lienos pa rin ang nasa service area. Another strong serve, diretso kay Ibanez. Lawrence Cruz to Colinares, and that was
Oh! Sayang.
but that save by Batas, tumama doon sa
Ilaw dito
Ilaw.
sa Paco Arena.
Oo. Ano pa kayo matatamaan sa Paco Arena? Kanina na yung scoreboard. And then this time, it's the lights. Well, yun yung masabi mo, literal na lights out, no? Pero not the good way for Ateneo.
Yes.
Because it gave a point for UST.
Powerful
Sharp
serve.
yes, by Ibanez. Batas attacking and block.
What a block from UST.
Great block there by Colinares. Despite that fake by Absin, hindi kumagat si
Yes.
Colinares doon. Kitang-kita niya, ito was Ken Batas all the way.
And you can really see na talaga these UST blockers, they're really penetrating their hands over the block, over the net.
Oo, maganda yung pagkakasetup ng braso nila. Batas giving chase in the second ball. This is
Ball
an easy
still
over.
play.
Opportunity for UST for a quick point.
Wow!
And Colinares, 2 quick points for him.
Colinares slowly, you know, nagpaparandam siya dito sa set na to.
Yeah, it took a while for Colinares to have his presence felt, but that
Yes.
time an emphatic attack that was not dug by De Castro. 2 straight points for Edlin Paul Colinares.
But then so far,
yeah.
no, sorry. Kita mo na din na UST nga has been playing calmly in this set.
Yeah, more calmly, and that's why they get another ace off Josh Ibanez. Coach Timmy will press for time. Let's listen in.
Alam mo nang ikaw yung tina-target. Bakit mo pa iiwasan? Mo pa titignan yung bola? Ay, alam mo na nga sa'yo papunta. Kahit pa nakasagad ka sa dulo, alam mo ikaw yung tina-target. So bakit ayaw mo pang kunin? Ba't ayaw mo pang akuhin yung pwesto mo? Sinabi na nga sa'yo, ikaw tatargetin eh. Bakit aasa ka pa sa katabi mo? Hindi ka pwede umasa sa katabi mo. Ikaw yung main receiver eh. Okay? Guys, hey, we have to receive. Dahil sinasabi ko sa inyo eh, 3 straight na yan. We have to receive. Okay? We just have to bump it up. Malakas yung serve, bump it up. Okay, let's go.
One to receive muna, one to receive. Abay, target ka.
So there we have Coach Tim, no? Again, reminding his team na to start with a good pass, and then also, you know, reminding Abay na he's a main passer, so he should not rely on his other teammates to pass the ball.
Yeah, that's reception errors on the part of Ateneo, giving UST disadvantage in the middle part of set number 2.
Good pass.
This time a good pass for Bloomstead, but that attack we have seen saved by Prudenciano. And another dig by Licauco. De Castro giving chase. Batas with a soft tip. Pero hindi tatawid yung bola.
Yes. So far, Colinares has been doing well dito sa first line of defense ng UST.
Yeah, he has been a good addition to the UST lineup. Itong si Popoy Colinares. Ever since he checked in, it took a while for him to deliver the points. And now, he is part of the last 3 points of UST. And they are now up 4.
Good pass.
Licauco, back set to Bata. Strong attack, dug by Ibanez. Lawrence Cruz giving chase of the second ball. De La Noche.
Oh, and that hits the corner spot.
Mukhang buenas ang UST dun sa zone 1 na yan. And that brings us to our second technical timeout. UST building a 5-point lead. We will have this timeout. check out some members of our sizable crowd here inside the Paco Arena. Whether they are for Ateneo or for UST, they are certainly enjoying this action. And kanina, first technical timeout, UST, they are a bit tight. No
Yes.
smiles this time. Nagkakatuwaan pa sila
Yeah.
dun sa sideline nila, sa kanilang huddle. What has emphatically changed for UST? That's why they have this 5-point lead.
Well, for one, no, it's the services of UST, no, the strong services that's helping them out. Kasi, yun nga, Ateneo has been struggling, putting up their first balls properly.
Yeah, that time, nakabawi naman si Ken Batas with another drop shot.
Yes.
Nagkakaroon talaga ng success itong si Ken Batas with those
Yes.
off-speed drops. Nahahanapan lang talaga niya kung saan walang tao eh.
Yes.
So it's now 16-12. Ateneo saving a point. Abstain serving for the Blue Eagles. And even though naangat nga ni Llenos yung bola doon kanina, medyo malayo nga rin yung pagkakaangat niya.
Yes.
No? Wow! Strong
What
hit.
an attack!
Strong hit on the part of De La Noche. Let's check it out
Yes.
one more time. Nice setting also on the part of Lawrence Cruz. They
That
thought
elevation, though.
yeah, that elevation by J-Rack De La Noche. And some of the blockers of Ateneo also thought that it was Colinares who will have that attack. And again, problems with the first ball for Ateneo,
Yes.
making it easy for
Wow.
UST. And that could have been a good
Ball is
set for
still in play.
Ibanez, but the rally continues.
Yes.
Ibanez to Cruz, to De Vega,
Wow.
and that will not be dug by Llenos.
That attack was too strong for Abel Llenos.
Nagkakaroon talaga ng problema sa reception and digging
Yes.
itong Ateneo. So how do you change that, or what's the countermeasure for Ateneo for them to be able to slow down the attack of UST?
Well, for one talaga, they need to, if their first balls are not working out for them, to be able to be set up, they have to work on their defense when it comes to these attacks, especially yung first line of defense nila.
Yes, speaking of working, Ken Batas working doubly hard to keep Ateneo in this set. UST still has a 5-point advantage. 13 serving 18. Good serve
Good
by Batas.
pass.
1-2 play.
Soft attack there by Flor.
Yeah, nakaangat na si Flor doon eh.
Yes.
He was already above the blockers. That's why it was too easy for him to find that open gap for Flor. At yan pa rin yung hindi rin nahuhuli ng Ateneo yung quick attacks ng
Yes.
UST.
You have to give it to Cruz also, no? So far, he's been distributing the balls around his attackers.
Oo, ito yung magandang pagpapaikot ni Lawrence Cruz. Help them build what is now a 5-point advantage after that service error by De La Noche. So both coaches already standing up. It's an indication of how intense and how
Yes.
important this game is.
Of course, winning this match is a ticket to the finals.
Yeah. We give them an opportunity to win the vleague Men's Volleyball Championship. Pero kinulang yung
Sayang.
back row attack ni Josh Ibanez doon.
That was actually a good approach. Yun nga lang, I think, nagka-problema siya with the contact with the ball.
Tsaka hindi kasi down the line siguro kaya hindi siya nagkaroon ng success doon because he has having success with his down the line hits. Talking about Josh Ibanez. 4-point lead
pass.
for UST. Combination play!
Again, it's that zone 1.
Oo, bukas na bukas eh.
Yes.
Kaya nga, De Vega had nothing else to do as you check out that replay. Good fake by Flor. De Vega just laying the ball there on that empty zone 1.
Well, for one kasi, you have Licauco who is in the front line. So talagang UST would bank on attacking down to zone 1 kasi syempre mas maliit yung blocker nila dun eh.
Yeah, so that's good
Wow.
presence of mind for UST. Cruz
What a
shooting
set.
the ball to Ibanez. Diving save by Batas. Llenos to Bloomstead. Back row. Nice save by Prudenciado. Pero wala na nakakuha ng
Yes.
second ball.
Good adjustment there by Bloomstead.
Yeah, seeing that gap once again
Yes.
on the defense. Talking about Caleb Bloomstead. But Ateneo will need more of that if they are to tie this game against UST. Or this set
Yes.
rather. They're still down by 4. And on deck to serve for the Blue Eagles is Jet Gopio, but our linesmen would like to make sure that there are no traces of perspiration inside the court. 4 points separating the two teams here in set number 2. Jet Gopio taking his time to serve. Good serve for
Good
Gopio.
pass.
Cruz checking out the defense, but that attack by Flor was blocked. Cruz once again to Ibanez. High leaper.
Yes,
And
definitely.
Ibanez this time.
Again, another smart hit, no? He saw na his blockers are just really above him, and he just uses the arms of his blockers to his advantage.
Yeah, that good angle by Ibanez allowed the ball to sail out of that block. Licauco to Lienos. But that was blocked.
What a block from UST.
Yeah, malaking bagay itong pagkakapasok talaga kay Popoy
Yes.
Colinares. So they're now up 6. Ateneo will press for time. Let's listen in.
Talayin mo, pero nung ginawa mo, binaba mo naman yung elbow mo. Kaya tinan mo yung balik ng bola, mababa. Kung gusto mo, di ba, down the line, sabi sa'yo, iwanan mo lang. Para pag sumek, yung bola sa atin, mabalik. Okay? Stay. Guys, nanggigigil na kasi tayo eh. Nanggigigil tayo. Gusto kagad natin pumuntos. Sabi sa'yo, malakas, mahinang bola. Point. Okay? Don't be in a rush to score a point. You have to do it specifically. One good set, and then do your own adjustments sa set. Okay?
Hey guys, OG lang yan.
Huwag kang manggigil.
Critical timeout on the part of Coach Timmy Santo Tomas because UST needing just 3 points to close set number 2. At parang hiniram lang niya yung vocabulary ni Coach Oji Mamon kanina. Kasi
Yes.
sabi nga ni Coach Oji kanina, parang nanggigigil kayo. At basically, yun lang din sinabi ni Coach Timmy that time. So, why is Ateneo suddenly playing with nerves?
Well, for one, no, kasi since they're up by 1 set, of course they want to get this set as well. No, kasi syempre, if you lose this set, there's a big chance na magtutuloy itong confidence na pinapakita ng UST.
Yeah, but that time, good response of a timeout by Abay Lienos, finding that corner of zone 5 sa panig ng UST. So they were able to get 1 point back and trim this lead by UST to 5. James Licauco serving. Lawrence Cruz to G-Boy De Vega. Good presence of mind.
Again, that was a really good attack, no? Talagang nakita niya na that spot was open. Kasi nakita niya sumabay yung open blocker. Ay, yung opener ng Ateneo when it comes to blocking.
And quick adjustment, Licauco sends it to Batas one more time. But that wall defense by UST slowing down Ateneo's attack. Ibanez dug by De Castro, and Ibanez delivers the winning point for UST in set number 2. That was quick. So this is now 1 set apiece. UST taking set number 2 with an 8-point lead, and we will be back with set number 3. Ateneo taking the first set 27-25, but UST responding in set number 2, taking that emphatically 25-17. Marge, it seems like everything is going UST's way in set number 2. Even those out-of-system plays, nagagawa nila ng paraan to turn it into points.
Definitely, especially that last point, no? That was a break ball for Josh Ibanez, but then, you know, kung pumalo siya, parang hindi siya break ball.
Oo. Parang ano pa rin, maganda yung pagkakaset sa kanya, no? And these replacements for UST, talking about Lawrence Cruz and also Colinares, delivering the goods for the Tigers. Let's check out the numbers.
Yeah, so far, no, what worked out for UST is their attacks. Kasi, well, it was clear, no? UST was able to really set up their attacks well because unang-una they're passing really well in that previous set, and of course, itong block points, especially like no, most of it coming from Colinares, no, really helped out win that set.
So if Ateneo had a 5-1 advantage in block set number 1, ito namang UST 5-0 in set number 2. So parang yan yung nagiging storya ng laro natin ngayon, na whoever dominates the net defense wins the set. We welcome you to set number 3 in the semi-final matchup between the Ateneo Blue Eagles and the UST Tigers Spikers, still live inside the Paco Arena. Lawrence Fernandez with Marge Tejada bringing to you this action. So whoever wins this game will face NU in the finals. The loser goes to the fight for 3rd and 4th place. And first blood goes to UST in set number 3 of that 4 touches infraction by Ateneo. So Lawrence Cruz coming in for Dax Yambao in this game and doing well during the setting job.
Good attack by Lienos.
Yeah, bawi naman si Abay Lienos. 1-all. At medyo nawala rin yung sa laro si Abay Lienos in the second set.
Well, for one nga kasi, no, Ateneo has been struggling when it comes to putting up their balls. Like, well, para ma-set up nito ni Licao ko yung mga open hitters niya. And of course, para ma-activate din nila yung mga middle blockers.
At that time, a strong serve by Lienos, pero lalabas yung ikot ng bola. So it's now 2-1. UST with a slight advantage early in set number 3. Josh Ibanez on deck to serve.
Good pass.
Lienos to Licauco to Batas. Perfect execution that time for Ateneo.
Definitely. Bawi dun sa first attack error niya from on the start of the set.
So yun na nga, if you get a good reception, the good first ball, everything else seems to follow.
That's the thing about volleyball. No? If you always have to start with a good pass for you to be able to attack well.
So 2-all po tayo. De La Noche attacking. Lienos with a dig. Gopio. Mababa yung set sa kanya.
Yes. Again, no, itong si Colinares, just alert there in the front line of defense of UST.
Yeah, he has been a huge factor. That's why UST took that second set. Itong si Popoy Colinares. Popoy Colinares actually played for UST High School. So inangat siya dito sa seniors program, and he's a great addition. And he's showing what he can do so far in the semifinal game. Oh, ginawa ng paraan ni De La Noche doon ng atake. Lienos, back row attack.
And also a net violation called on UST.
Oo. So either way, the net touch and that strong hit by Lienos, it's a point for Ateneo.
Yes.
3-all. Set number 3. Ken Batas on deck to serve for the Blue Eagles. Strong serve.
Good
Diretso kay
pass.
Ibanez. Lawrence Cruz. Combination play. De La
Still
Vega.
alive!
Lienos with the save. Bloomstead with an attack. Soft attack. Well received by UST. G-Boy De Vega once again.
Going for zone 1. So far talaga, the open hitters of UST has been targeting itong zone 1.
Yeah, they're having success. As we check out that
Yes.
replay, yun talagang area na yan, dyan talaga sila nakakapuntos eh. So if that's the case, how come Ateneo hasn't adjusted well their defense?
Well, for one talaga, no? Siyempre yung mga ganun tusok na spike, it's kind of difficult talaga to get under and receive that. And also, another factor is the one blocking De Vega is Licauco, and Licauco is not much of a tall player.
Yeah, so ginagawan talaga ng paraan ng UST ang attack nila, finding the smaller blocker that is. But in the meantime, Lawrence Cruz pleading his case with our second referee that his 1-2 play is legal, that it's good. But the first referee, Roberto Javier, saying that the attack is not good. Kaya ang puntos mapupunta sa Ateneo. So it's 4-all, set number 3.
Good
Tight
serve.
set so far. De Vega once again with an attack, dug by Bloomstead. Licauco sends it to Llenos off the double block but was saved by Ibanez. Cruz sends it one more time to De Vega. The dig by Bloomstead was there but
Yes.
Licauco cannot get the second ball.
Medyo mabilis din yung dating ng bola kay Licauco. So, Licauco wasn't able to do something about that ball.
Yeah, it sailed through Licauco and he wasn't quick that time. Etong si James Licauco. But so far, Ateneo doing better with their reception.
Yes.
And that's why we are tight here in set number
Good
3.
pass.
5 serving 4. Licauco to Llenos. Off the block and good. And Llenos trying to fire up his teammates
Yes.
after that emphatic attack off the block. So syempre itong mga veterano ng Ateneo like Llenos, they will be the spark plugs to bring
Yes.
Ateneo into this contest. Gopio to De Vega, Ibanez flying, dug by Bloomstead. Batas, an
Free
easy
ball.
over for Ateneo. UST with an opportunity to score. Back row attack, De Vega.
So far, De Vega has been on fire so far in this match.
Yeah, so on target si De Vega
Yes.
early in set number 3. Siya yung bumubuhat sa UST so far in this third set. They're up 1, 6-5. Floor serving for UST. Llenos first ball. Licauco bump sets to Llenos. Blocked. And that ball will sail out, point for Ateneo.
If you look at Llenos, he's pretty lean, no? So talagang expect mo na malakas talaga yung palo niya.
Saka siguro gusto rin niyang bumawi for himself.
Yes.
Especially with his performance in set number 2 wherein he was relatively quiet. Gusto niya magpakitang gilas dito sa third set. And a push by Colinares but Licauco was waiting. Llenos soft tip. Prudenciado with a dig. De La Noche dug by Batas. Licauco sends it back to Batas. De Vega giving chase
Again.
rather. Ibanez strong hit.
Wow! Grabe talaga to si Josh Ibanez. Ken Batas almost had, De Vega again in that zone 1, but De Vega was quicker this time and he got that ball.
Nakita niya na papunta pa lang
Yes.
yung isang blocker, sa inunahan na niya. And you have to credit this high leaping ability by Ibanez, no? He's not that tall, but yet he gets power once he gets that ball up there.
Yes.
And that miss hit by Ateneo sends us to our first technical timeout and set number 3. UST up to 8-6. So it has been G-Boy De Vega and Lawrence Cruz, some of the players that are helping UST's cause early in set number 3. That's why they have a 2-point advantage. And let's hear more from courtside with Mika Madrid.
Lawrence and Marge for Coach Oji of the UST Growling Tigers. Ang larong ito against the Blue Eagles ang kanyang basehan kung naia-apply daw ng boys ang kanyang sistema. And while he's encouraging his team to enjoy the game, he also wants them to learn from how their opponents are performing. Sabi niya raw sa team, smile lang while playing. And nakita nyo naman yun kanina, Lawrence at Marge, kung hindi ako nagkakamali. Pero syempre, they still have to be competitive daw and play to their full potential to make the most out of their lead in the second set. Back to you guys.
Yeah, maraming salamat Mika for that update. And yeah, they're really playing loose. They are playing with more fun this time around.
Definitely.
That's why they're doing better. And they have been excellent with their floor defense, neutralizing Ateneo's attacks. But Ateneo will have one more opportunity, pero
That
malakas.
goes out.
Oo.
Tsaka so far, no, talagang nakatulong na yung, kumbaga, yung composure ng UST is there.
Yeah. Composure from playing loosely.
Yes.
I mean, not loosely in the sense that they are not on track of the objective already.
But more of hindi sila tense,
Oo.
kumbaga, in this match so far.
But they still know what's at stake in this game, and yet they are not fazed by that goal. Because again, whoever wins this game will have a date with NU in the finals of the men's volleyball competition in the 2022 vleague Challenge Cup. In the meantime, the loser will go to the battle for third and fourth place. And a tip by De La Noche.
Easy tip there.
No, so this is a good adjustment on the part of Coach Oji Mamon, putting in De La Noche in the starting lineup.
So far, in the previous elimination matches, De La Noche wasn't playing.
Oo. At ito, ginawa siyang starter and he is responding to the trust by Coach Oji. But Coach Oji having an earful for Popoy Colinares despite all of his good points or good contributions in set number 2. They cannot afford those service errors lalo na dikit ang ating laban. Ken Batas with a serve. Straight to Ibanez. Lawrence Cruz. Combination play.
Wow.
De Vega.
So far talaga, you know, itong si G-Boy De Vega just really attacking well. Taas ng attack percentage niya today.
And he also benefits from the good setting of Lawrence Cruz. At natutulungan din siya ng mga fake na kanyang middle blockers.
You have to give it then to sa libero ng UST and of course the others who are passing well.
Oo.
Kasi, you know, Cruz is able to set up his spikers well and to be able to distribute them kasi because of the good passes na UST has been having.
But in that sequence, the good pass was not there. De La Noche's attack did not go over the net.
Oh, an error.
And another error on the part of Ateneo. That service error by Bloomstead extends the lead by UST to 2. And the man of the moment for UST so far, itong si G-Boy De Vega from Batangas City. And still Coach Oji Mamon, knowing how big this game is, still barking some instructions, especially to Prudenciado. Lienos' attack was dug by De La Noche. G-Boy adjusting in mid-air. Licauco to Lienos, strong attack. But that ball sailed wide. Yeah, there's a check ball given by our first referee. So makakabawi ng puntos ang Ateneo this time. So kung merong De Vega ang UST, mukhang si Lienos naman ang bumubuhat sa Ateneo here in set number 3. Gopio serving for the Blue Eagles. 11 serving 12. Good serve for Lienos. Lawrence Cruz to Ibanez. So ngayon, hindi na down the line cross-court naman si Ibanez ngayon.
So far, ganda talaga ng connection nito ni Cruz sa kanyang open hitters, no?
Oo, with the
He's
De
been
Vega.
able to set them up pretty well and his openers are just killing it for him.
Dun yung, yung pinaka-successful na atake ng UST this time. And again, Batas with an off-speed.
Just really finding the holes in the floor defense of UST.
That has been his bread and butter ever since we started this game. Ken Batas just finding the open gaps in the defense of UST. He has an occasional strong attack, but he finds most of his success with those
Yes.
off-speed hits. Ibanez, one more try.
Again. That's a check ball.
Indeed, there's a check ball and a net touch also for Ateneo. Let's check that out one more time. Good set by Cruz. At mukhang nakagip nga yung net dun sa ibabaw. Ng isa sa mga blocker ng Ateneo doon. I mean, this game is not that far between the two
Yes.
teams. 2 points separating them. But what's keeping UST ahead by 2, make that 3?
Well, for one, no, talagang itong attacks ni De Vega and the Ibanez, has been what's keeping the energy of UST alive.
So, sasamahan mo pa ng mga occasional
Yes.
kill blocks na ganyan, and they now have a 3-point advantage over Ateneo. Licauco backsets it to Llenos.
Wow. What an attack.
Yeah, great execution on the part of the Blue Eagles that time.
Actually, that was a pretty tight set to the net, but good adjustment there by Llenos.
And that adjustment gives Ateneo point number 13, keeping a 2-point deficit between them and UST. Another jump set.
Oh!
Llenos.
Service error.
Malakas yung kanyang service.
Not much spin on that serve.
Oh, and that service error brings us to our second technical timeout. UST up 3, 16-13. We check out some faces from our crowd this afternoon in this matchup between UST and Ateneo. It's a sizable crowd inside here, Paco Arena, and an energetic crowd at that, because they have been cheering for their respective squads, whether they are for Ateneo or for UST. They have been motivating their team to victory.
Yes.
But so far, at least after the second technical timeout here in set number 3, it's UST having the upper hand. What has kept them in the driver's seat here in set number 3, Marge?
Well,
Kahit na dikit yung laban natin.
Yeah, well, yun nga, no, it's the attacks coming from UST and also their block kills is what's helping them. And yun nga, added factor na din itong strong serves ng UST, which Ateneo has been struggling to put up.
But at that time, yung fake ni Ibanez, napapaluin sana, called for double contact. Kanina, ginawa rin niya yan kanina. Pero hindi siya natawagan ng ganong infraction earlier. So it's now 14 serving 16. 2 points separating both teams. Charles Absin on deck to serve for the Blue Eagles. Good serve for Absin.
Good
Pass
pass.
by Ibanez. Quick attack
And
by
that's
Colinares.
inside.
So if Colinares is not blocking the attacks of Ateneo, he's also contributing off those quick attacks.
Yes.
So it's a good adjustment on the part of Coach Oji Mamon inserting Popoy Colinares in the rotation. But can Ateneo respond? That attack by Bloomstead was blocked. Back set by Licauco to Batas.
Good set there by Licauco.
Yeah, indeed. Good set on
Kita
the part
niya
of
na
Kings.
nakaabang na yung blockers ng UST dun sa opener niya, and he was able to, you know, set that, like a really good back set to Batas.
Oo, naidala pa niya sa kabilang panig ng court to Ken Batas. And Batas continue to help Ateneo
Good pass.
inch closer to UST. This time, it's Rainier Floor with a quick attack.
So far talaga, itong mga good first balls ng UST, ang
Oo.
laking tulong for them, no?
So kahit hindi pumupunto si Ibanez and even Pudenciado is at the libero, they are helping UST's cause with this good
Yes.
first balls. So UST, because of those good passing, have kept this lead by 2 or 3 points. So dyan naglalaro yung kalamangan ng UST so far. And that adjustment by Gopio received by Cruz.
Oh.
And a punch by Ibanez. Ayun, nagkagulo na yung UST doon. Ayan, nagtuusap sila. Ano nangyayari doon? And De La Noche will come out and Lawrence Cruz will also come out. So Duck Xiambao, after that early ankle injury, will be able to check back in. So that's good news for UST. So lalabas si Lawrence Cruz at si De La Noche. Pumasok din si Senyoron ng UST.
Good pass.
Yambao to floor. Doug. Ibanez giving chase.
Good
De
set.
Vega will attack.
Wow, what a second ball coming from Ibanez. And of course, you know, with a beautiful setup there, you expect De Vega talaga to kill that ball.
Oo nga, ang layo ng pagkakaset ni Ibanez doon kay De Vega. But G-Boy doing the most of that set, just like he has done all throughout this game. It's now 19 serving 16. De Vega with a jump serve.
Power
Bloomstead cannot control, and that's an ace for G-Boy De Vega. And he is egging the UST crowd to cheer louder because they're up 4. And the Tigers-Pikers contingent responding to De Vega's energy. And they're now chanting the cheers of UST. 20 serving 16. Another jump serve for De Vega.
Again, targeting Bloomstead.
Yeah, almost an ace, but that time it's a block.
Block point for UST.
Yeah, this time it's a June Lawrence Senyoron with that kill block. Let's check it out one more time. Lienos denied at the net, and that will force Coach Timmy to call time. Let's listen in.
Kale! That's just jump serve! That's going straight to you already! You just have to bump it up! Yeah. You're overthinking eh. The ball is already going to you. You just have to absorb it and bump it up. Why do you keep on pushing the ball towards the net? You just have to bump it up, wait for the ball, you count 1, 2, 3, bump. And you have to move it. If it goes to your right, you have to sidestep.
Hey,
You can't just reach for it. You have to move your feet. You have to move your feet.
Beshies, listen.
Ay,
The
kailangan
set
natin
isn't over
mag-receive.
yet. Let's go.
Kailangan natin receive.
First ball muna. Let's go. Let's get first ball. Hey, guys, sit.
Yeah, just like what Coach Tim Santo Tomas mentioned, that
Yes.
overthinking is crippling Ateneo, especially here in the latter part of set number 3. But aside from the mental fortitude not being there, ano pa yung mali na ginagawa ng Ateneo ngayon? That's why they're down 5.
Well, for one, no, yun nga, it's the how you pass these kinds of serves, you know, kasi spin balls are easier to pass compared to float balls. And yun nga, tama si Coach Tim when he said na you just have to put out your platform in front of you and you don't have to push that ball and you have to absorb the power that's coming out from that ball.
And that time, good response of a timeout by Ateneo. Strong hit by Ken Batas. Trims UST's lead slightly to 4 points. Gopio with the serve. Good serve,
pass.
diretso kay Prudenciado. Yambao to Ibanez. Finding that hole is Ibanez.
Miscommunication in the defense there from Ateneo.
So kung kanina yung down the line zone 1 ng bukas sa Ateneo,
Yes.
nagkakaroon naman ng success si Yambao with the cross-court hit here in set 3. So they have to adjust their defense, that is, on the part of Ateneo. 22 serving 17. Rainier floor with the serve. Straight to Lienos. Licauco back sets to Batas. Soft tip. Dug by Rainier floor. Ibanez with an attack. But De Castro was there. Ibanez will set it up. Yambao. Back row attack. De Vega.
Legal
Point for
attack.
Ateneo. Yeah.
Yes.
Natapakan niya yung attack line
Yes.
that time.
Medyo kita din naman na yun,
Oh.
how he jumped. It was already too close to the net.
Kaya tahimik na lang si De Vega kasi alam niya, oh, teka, wala eh, nahuli. They're still up by 4, pretty much in good hands if they can do
Wow.
well. And again,
Again.
Colinares with a quick attack.
Yes.
Palitan ng tao sa UST pero timeout ulit sa Ateneo. Makinig tayo.
Kayong dalawa, sinasabi ko sa inyo, hindi kayo nakabantay sa tao nyo eh. Nakita nyo nang gumagalaw, naghihintay pa rin kayo sa gitna. Ano gagawin nyo? Sabi sila, di ba, once the spiker nyo, galaw na rin, sidestep na rin. Bakit naiiwan kayo sa gitna? Hindi naman ibabalik doon yung pole, iniiwan sa tao eh. Wala na kayong nahuli. Kanina, nahuhuli nyo kasi sumusunod kayo sa bola. Ba't ngayon, hindi na kayo sumusunod sa tao ninyo? Diba?
Yes.
Wala eh. Sabi sa inyo, you always have to take that extra step. Ano ba naman isang side step? Mahuhulit yun. Makinig lang kayo sa sinasabi sa inyo. Okay? Hey, diba? Tsaka nyo.
Hey, sagat. Let's go.
So, Coach Tim there reminding his players na to establish again yung blocking system nila. Kasi so far, they have not been successful in stopping UST's attacks. Mapa-middle and mapa-open.
Yeah, those attacks by De Vega and also Ibanez and to some extent also Popoy Colinares delivering attacks for UST. That's why they're now at 23 points. Ateneo is at 18. Licauco, another back set. This time to Lienos.
Wow. Powerful
Lienos,
attack.
Good. Yeah. So Lienos attacks from the opposite side as you check out one more time. Good fake by Charles Absin as well. And finding that gap between zones 5 and 6. Itong si Abay Lienos. And here he is serving for the Blue Eagles. Softer serve this time for Lienos. Cruz sends it to De La Noche. This time he was
Good
blocked.
block.
At ayan na nga yung adjustment na sinasabi. Blocking. Kaya mapapatawag naman ng timeout si Coach Oji. Makinig tayo.
Tamaan. Step forward bangga ng maaga. Nagsushort, parang depensa galing sa service. Service receive ba? Hindi dig
Yes, Coach.
Gawa mo ng paraan. Dapadaan mo sa malaking blocker Huwag ka lang mag-rosa, paluin mo ng malakas. Nasa buhangin, kaya kamayin mo. Good ball yun.
Tama mo na lang, pre. Tama mo na lang.
Lawrence Cruz, lamang yung dalawang dulo. O ngayon, kuha ka na, pick mo isa doon, di ba si Joey Boy yun? O, pa-kombinasyonin mo dito. Pasa sa left, opposite set kay Joey, kay
AST!
So basically, Coach Oji giving specific orders to UST, emphasizing their advantages on both sides.
Yes.
At yun yung pinapatarget niya kay Cruz, ang kanilang setter and also team captain. Because they need just 2 points to close set number 3. And they cannot afford another Ateneo run to bring their momentum back. Cruz, back set to Ibanez. Dug by Licauco. Lienos sends it to Batas. Soft tip. Almost a point for Batas. And this time, ito naman si De Vega.
Zone 1.
De Vega has been doing target practice in this set. And that brings UST to set point. So De Vega, again, going back to that zone 1, bringing UST to set point.
These two open spikers ng UST has been, successful in finding the holes when it comes to attacking dito sa floor defense ng Ateneo.
And this time, a defensive play by G-Boy De Vega ends the set for UST. That tip by De Vega ends set number 3 to the tune of 25-20. Let's check that out one more time. Soft tip from Batas. De Vega says no. This will be my point. And UST is now up 2-1. And we will be back with set number 4. This is the V-League where it all started. we check out, I guess that's Lindsay Stalser, if I'm not mistaken, of the F2 Logistics Cargo Movers, enjoying the game here between Ateneo and UST. Well, I stand corrected. I thought it was Stalser. We check out more faces in the crowd. And we go back to the wrap-up of set number 3. Ateneo tried its best to contend in set number 3, but it's a combination of good floor defense,
Yes.
strong attacks, and yung kanilang net defense din, all working on the part of
Yes,
UST.
definitely. And it shows, no? Like, once they started, yun nga, playing calmly, playing composed,
Oo.
everything just worked out for them. And as we look at the stats now, no, talagang mas nakakalamang when it comes to attacks itong UST, and of course yung blocks nila. And even with the bigger numbers in errors, you know, nabawi nitong attacks and block points.
Yeah. So yun pa rin na nagiging storya ng ating laro. Whoever has that blocks advantage typically wins the set.
Yes.
So now, Ateneo down 2 sets to 1. Basically, they have to win both sets if they are to go to the finals. What should change for the Blue Eagles for them to be able to succeed in this contest?
Well, for one, no, they have to work, no, double when it comes to their passing. Kasi it shows naman when they're able to put up their first balls well,
Yes.
they're able to attack and they're able to convert. Yun nga lang talaga when it comes to passing, this coming from a serve, medyo nahihirapan sila.
Yeah, those difficulties with passing allowed UST to build a sizable advantage. Ateneo tried its best to catch up towards the latter part, but that was too late, the hero. That's why UST took set number 3 as we welcome to set number 4. Llanos with an attack.
And that goes out.
That goes out, point for UST. Hindi bibigyan ng check ball si ano doon, si Abay Llanos doon. Lawrence Cruz serving for UST. Licauco, back set to Llanos. Dug by Prudenciado,
Oh,
and that hits the
light.
lights. And for some reason, that's the second time in
Yes.
this game.
This
That-
time, UST.
Oo, so tig-isa na sila. So literal shooting hitting the lights out.
Let's just hope na hindi biglang mahulog yung light bulb during
Oo.
the game.
We hope that the lights will continue to be on
Oh,
up until
service
the end of this
error.
game. At medyo nawawala sa laro si Abay Llanos early in set 4. Attack error, service error. Could it be a possible effect of losing set number 3 to UST?
That's possible, but then again, you know, that's already that set's over. So you need to start anew and focus on the set right now.
Ken Batas with an attack, but that is blocked. Combination of Colinares and De La Noche. This time getting that kill block rather, for UST. 3-1 ang ating talaan, UST up 2. Josh Ibanez, who has been spectacular for UST in this game, on deck to serve. Malakas na serve, but dug by De Castro. Licauco falling out. And that attack error by Senyoron,
Sendon rather.
or Sendon,
Yes.
stand corrected. But the point will be awarded to UST. I believe that's a net touch infraction on the part of Ateneo. The action continues, and that's an ace for Josh Ibanez, much to the delight of the UST players.
Kaibigan ni Josh Ibanez yung net doon.
Oo nga, napapektos na yung bola. And it ricocheted off the net for that ace. And obviously, Ateneo, they're really out of sync in set
Yes.
number 4. Hindi magandang pangitain yan para sa Blue Eagles.
Medyo kita mo din, I mean, di naman kita, but you sort of feel that their energy is kind of low coming into this set.
Samantala, ang energy sa UST, kahit yung save na lang na yun ni Prudenciado, He has all the energy in the world. And he gets a point. And you know things are doing well for you if even the libero scores without even trying too hard. Let's check it out one more time. He just pushed the ball towards the other side. At hindi na na-control yun ng Blue Eagles.
Kita mo din na, yun nga, like what you were saying a while ago, UST has been, you know, in good spirits after that second set win.
No, nakatulong din yung sabi ni Coach Oji na chill kayo. Meanwhile, no chill on the part of Ateneo. They press for time. Let's listen in.
Ano, hindi pa naman tapos yung laro eh. Tapos na ba yung laro? Parang yung body language mo, akala mo tapos na yung game eh.
Uy, laban naman natin, tara. Dito na tayo, sasayangin pa natin to.
Ayaw nyo receive, ayaw mo bumlock ng maayos. Ayaw mo magsalita, nasa na yung bola, ayaw mo kumuha. Guys, sabi ko sa inyo, kailangan natin mga receive. Gusto nyo manalo. Malayo pa naman nagsisimula. You have good start. We need good start.
Guys, let's go.
So, you know, Coach Tim reminding his players na hindi pa tapos yung laro. You know, of course, we're just in the fourth set and they still have a chance, you know, if they win the set and, you know, eventually play out the fifth set. So, you know, it's not over, of course, till the match is over.
Yeah, if there's any indication that Ateneo can catch up from huge deficits, as we check out another ace, successive aces for Josh Ibanez, brings us to our first technical timeout in set number 4. UST with a big lead, 8-1. We will be back with more volleyball action. After the first technical timeout of set number 4, UST up big 8-1. And let's listen to more courtside updates from Mika Madrid.
In this tight match against the Growling Tigers, Coach Demi of the Ateneo Blue Eagles highlighted the importance of moving on to be able to recover. Sabi niya, in a tournament, there's no room to look back at errors and losses. These things are inevitable, so kalimutan na yon and focus on your next big move. Dagdag pa niya, the pressure will always be there, but it will always boil down to the right attitude. At para makabawi in the fourth set, he wants the boys to focus on the receives and amp up their aggressiveness and confidence inside the court. Lawrence and Marge.
Maraming salamat sa update na yan, Mika Madrid. And just as Mika was wrapping up his update, Josh Ibanez commits a service error. He had a successful stint sa service area that time. At doon talaga kitang-kita natin ang problema ng Ateneo, Marge. It has been the first ball.
Yes, yun nga. And that has been, you know, pretty evident since the start of second set.
Yeah, doon na nagsimula yung momentum ng UST.
What an attack.
And an emphatic attack by G-Boy De Vega.
Again, it's the zone 1, which he has been targeting. No? Not just him, but also Joshua Ibanez.
Oh, they have been exploiting that zone ever since we started this game. At hanggang ngayon, set 4, they're still having success in that zone. Ateneo not being able to adjust their defense on that spot. Batas with a tip, dug by Ibanez. Cruz to De Vega, dug by De Castro. Licauco, back row attack to Lienos. Ibanez was there waiting. Another opportunity for UST. De Vega's attack was tipped. Licauco to the middle.
Miscommunication in the attack there.
Pero hindi yan yung unang beses na nangyari ang ganyan.
It could have been a time for Ateneo to be able to activate their middle blockers. Yun nga lang, no? Nagkaroon ng miscommunication.
And with all those sequences of errors and blunders, team captain Lance De Castro trying to calm the Blue Eagles down. One good run can bring them back to this game.
Good attack from Sendon.
Yes.
Sendon, sorry.
Itong si Sendon, late entry in this game. Let's see if he can be the spark plug for the Blue Eagles. Itong si Jeric Sendon for the Blue Eagles. Good serve by Sendon. Cruz back set. De La Noche. Puntos para sa UST.
Yes.
Makikita mo rin sa body language nitong Ateneo.
Yes.
The fight is not there compared to the spring and the legs of UST. Magkaiba talaga. It's day and night, March.
Yeah. Medyo, from our perspective, medyo ramdam mo yung energy na nilalabas nitong both teams. And you know na, ito nga, UST is in good spirits. And here, Ateneo, medyo bumaba yung energy nila coming into this set.
Yeah, let's hope that service errors like those can help Ateneo's spirits go up and help elevate their fight in this set. They need 7 points to tie this 4th set. Ken Batas with another jump serve. Good serve.
Good
Diretso
pass.
kay De Vega. Combination
Wow,
play!
again, zone 1.
Okay, kahit may nakabang doon. I mean,
Yes.
Sendon was there. De Vega still chose to
Yes.
bring the ball in that spot as you check out that replay. Kasi nga naman, it was Licauco
Yes.
fronting De Vega in that spot.
So, sobrang laki nung gap wherein De Vega can hit his balls.
Almost an ace on the part of De Vega. And that adjustment by Gopio was received by De Noche. Ibanez this time with an attack.
But
Pero hindi
Prudenciano,
nahabol.
yeah.
Oo. Ngayon nga, yan, my fault daw, sabi ni Ibanez. They can afford to have those mistakes this time because they still have a sizable
Yes.
7-point advantage.
But then again, mas better pa din to avoid committing those kinds of
Oo.
errors.
Because we know Ateneo, just like in their last game against LaSalle, they had a furious comeback in the opening set and they
Yes.
won that game in 3. Lleno, strong hit, Doug De La Noche. Prudenciado, second ball, back row, De Vega. Sendon, first ball, Licauco, fake by Absin. Llenos with a
Boston
strong
play.
hit. Lawrence Cruz, 1-2 play.
Oh!
Kinulang.
Yes.
Nice delivery of the ball from De Vega to Cruz.
And we have here, Coach Oji Mamon saying, you don't do that. No?
Oo.
Pinisignalan niyo si Lawrence Cruz na don't
na nga,
do that.
dinuduro na niya eh. Pag alam mong sa'yo naka-point, nakaturo yung, yung daliri, it's for you, the message for you. Let's see if Lawrence Cruz will respond better.
Good dig.
Yeah, good dig by Sendon. Llenos off the block. And are we seeing another furious run from the Blue Eagles?
So far slowly, medyo tumataas na itong
Oo.
energy ng Ateneo.
Mukhang nakatulong yung huling timeout kanina.
Yes.
Kung saan sinasabi ni Coach Tim na hindi pa tapos ang laban. And indeed, it's not yet done because UST is just at 12.
Yes. And it helps also then, like those kinds of digs. Kasi so far talaga, Ibanez and De Vega had been unstoppable when it comes to the open. And those
Yan na naman, si Ibanez na naman.
Yes.
Oo.
Like, ayun nga, yung mga paisa-isang digs, it could help Ateneo also. Kasi nga, so far, like I said nga, Ibanez and De Vega has been unstoppable when it comes to their attacks in the open.
So si Vega yung, yung down the line, tapos si Ibanez naman yung cross
Yes.
court. Yun na yung pinupuntahan ng UST and they're still having wonders. Llenos response.
Yes.
Ang lakas ng
Sabi
atake
ni
ni Llenos.
Llenos, kami din.
Ayun na nga, yung maganda sa Ateneo, nagkakaroon na sila ng buhay
Yes.
sa kanilang laro, sa kanilang atake. At bumabalik na ulit yung enthusiasm nila for the game. They're still down 5, but the energy is visibly different. A nice dig by De Castro, pero walang nakakuha ng second ball for
Yes.
Ateneo. Point for Josh Ibanez. Let's check that out one more time. Fake from Colinares.
That was
Could have been a
good-
nice
yes.
save para dito kay Lance De Castro.
Ang ganda ng dolphin dive ni Lance De Castro doon.
Oo, pero walang nakakuha ng
Oo.
second ball.
Good
14-8
pass.
is the count. Licauco back set. Llenos dug by Lawrence Cruz. De Vega sets it. De La Noche.
And goes out.
Yeah, ball goes out. Walang check ball from our first referee. So, clearly an attack error by J-Rack De La Noche. Hindi mabasag ng Ateneo itong 5-point deficit na ito eh. This has been the lowest that they brought the lead down.
Yes.
Ibanez,
Wow,
soft hit.
soft touch.
Naguluhan ang depensa ng Ateneo that time. They thought it was another strong cross-court hit for Ibanez. So, despite being a rookie, Ibanez varying his attacks and showing his prowess in this game of
Yes.
volleyball. Strong serve,
Strong
masyadong
serve and it
malakas.
goes out.
Oo. Ateneo could use that as a rallying point. So what else can Ateneo work on in this game para maibaba pa yung kalamangan na ng UST?
Well, you know, there's nothing, I mean, hindi naman sa there's nothing else, but it always boils down to them being able to work on their first ball, no?
And after the second technical timeout of set number 4, UST up 16-10. Well, we check out some more faces from our crowd here inside the Paco Arena. So this is the semifinal matchup between the Ateneo Blue Eagles and the UST Tiger Spikers. The winner will book a ticket against NU to the finals. Loser goes to the battle for 3rd and 4th place. And despite the higher energy for Ateneo in this part of set number
Yes.
4, UST still maintaining the advantage. So what has been the factor that allowed UST to hold on to this lead?
Well, for one, no, yun nga, yung strong services coming off from Ibanez at the start of this set, which has helped UST, no, to trail ahead.
Yeah, speaking of ace, I guess that's another point for, oh, that's a point for, yeah, that's a point for UST, courtesy of Colinares. Colinares also has been playing splendidly
Yes.
for UST ever since he was checked in by Coach Oji Mamon. Dicauco brings it to Ken Batas, block! And a
Good
point
block.
for UST.
So far, ang ganda ng combination nito ni De La Noche and Flor when it comes to blocking sa front line.
Oo nga, walang napuntahan yung atake na yan ni Ken Batas. That combination by De La Noche and Flor putting up that ball for UST. This is now an 8-point advantage for UST. Colinares with another good serve, almost an ace, but a nice save by De Castro. And a
Net-
point goes to
Yes,
Ateneo.
net touch called on the blockers of UST.
Yeah. So that adds the point total of Ateneo. 11 serving 18. Jeric Sendon ready to serve for the Blue Eagles. But they need more than just UST committing errors if they are to catch up. And Flor quick on his reflexes of that attack. So ngayon, hindi na lang yung services for UST ang gumagana. Binalik na rin nila yung quick attacks na yan.
Yes. So far, medyo naging tahimik din sila when it comes to the attacks in their middle. Kasi it has been, you know, Ibanez and
Oo.
De Vega was been being set up by their setters.
Silang dalawa talaga yung
Yes.
spark plug for UST in this game. Again, another low set for Jet Gopio. And Ateneo is just out of system. That's why Coach Timmy will press for time. Let's listen in.
Good sa tao eh, hindi naman oh, tapos iiwanan mo sa kanya eh, nakita mo sumugod siya sa tao. Diba? Sabi ko nga sa'yo, magbibigay ka, kaso nga lang, wala sa timing. Wala sa tamang diskarte. Dapat nga, tama naman sa quick. Kaso nga lang, tingnan mo kung saan siya tumakbo. Tumakbo siya ng diretso sa blocker niya. Diba? Let's go.
Hey guys,
Papasukin
Ikaw
mo,
naman,
papasukin mo.
nakita mo naman.
Be,
ganun na nga.
makinig kayo sa akin.
Paano
Kaya
naman
di
ito?
abay.
Ano gagawin mo?
Hindi pa tapos yung set, last five pa sila. Wala nang ba yung mangyari sa 9 points
Okay.
yan? Kunin natin isa-isa lang, trabaho tayo,
You
trabaho.
have to receive. Tama naman yung diskarte kasi nga lang mali lang yung timing. Okay, let's go.
Laban natin yan, 9 lang yan, isa-isa tayo. Let's go.
So after the second technical timeout, UST still doing even better,
Yes.
responding better to that quick break. After a 4-1 run, they have extended their lead to 9 points, 20-11, needing just 5 points to close this game and book a ticket to the finals against NU. Gopio adjustment once again. De Vega soft tip, finding that open gap. And De Vega is just feeling it in this game.
Yes.
Kahit si Coach Oji Mamon, natutuwa na rin dun sa movement ni G-Boy De Vega because everything that they have done ever since set number 2, gumana talaga eh.
Definitely. And yun nga, it's a good thing for UST that they were able to adjust from that first set loss.
Oo. Quick adjustment so far for Ken Batas.
Yes.
Getting another point back. But they'll need more of that. Hindi pwede yung paisa-isang puntos lang na ganyan for them to surmount this sizable 9-4 deficit. Ken Batas on deck to serve. Good serve for
Good
Batas.
pass.
Dug by De Vega. Out of system play. Susubukan pa rin atake ni Ibanez. Llenos this time.
Oh, but it goes out.
Yeah. Yung atake ni Llenos, too wide.
That could have been a good attack, no? Kasi sakto din na walang tao dun sa zone 1 nitong UST.
So, Llenos trying to copy what G-Boy De Vega has done all game. That time to no avail. UST up 10. Serving is G-Boy De Vega. Jump serve for De Vega. That's a strong serve.
Good
Doug.
pass.
Vatas, Llenos attacking, block. De Castro, second serving for Llenos, off speed. Prudenciado was there. Yambao to floor.
Ball is still in play.
Yeah, rally continues. Batas off speed. Nice diving save for Prudenciado. Quick attack by Gopio. Prudenciado was once there. Ibanez.
A little under that ball.
Oo. Kaya napataas yung atake niya doon. But despite that error, UST pretty much still in good hands. Yeah. So yun, nagpapalitan pa rin ng tao dito ang Ateneo. Absin is now inside. At itong si Jet Gopio will be serving for the Blue Eagles. Looper of a serve for Gopio. One hand set, floor!
Floor. What an attack. Wala na nagawa yung blockers na Ateneo because Floor was just, you know, he hit that ball above the blockers. Actually, late na yung sumabay sa kanya na blocker.
Oo, nakababa na si Llenos dun eh. That's a crushing hit for Floor off that one-hand set by Dax Yambao. Service error on the part of Floor though. So he got 1 point and he gave one back. So that's point number 14 for the Blue Eagles. They still have a 9-point deficit to work with if they are to extend this match to a 5th set. James Licauco on deck to serve for the Blue Eagles. Straight to Ibanez.
Good pass.
Yambao, combination play. Ibanez.
Oh, but that sails out.
Yeah, that sails out. That's a difficult angle to attack for Josh Ibanez. And that time, he will not deliver a point. So that's another point for Ateneo. So kapag ganito na malapit na matapos yung set, how does the mentality of the losing team change? Ano yung nag-iiba sa kanilang approach?
Good angle there. Well, for one, no, they still have to play out while the game has not finished. Kasi, you know, a lot can happen in that, like, regardless kung malaki yung point deficit between them, you know, while the game is still not done and the game's not over, you know, you still have to, you know, perform and do well. Kasi, who knows, no? What could happen? Just like that, no?
Yeah. That could have been an ace for Lawrence Cruz, but that reception turned into a point for Ateneo. So UST is now at match point. 8 set points to match points rather
Good
to work
pass.
with. Back set by Cruz, easy over by Ibanez. Batas.
Wow, what
Block.
a block.
And that's a poetic ending to this
Yes.
game by UST because it has been their net defense
Yes.
that has brought them to the finals of the vleague Challenge Cup 2022 Men's Volleyball Tournament. As we check out that winning point, Batas had nowhere to go with that double block, that wall by Yambao and Colinares. And that ends our game in 4 sets. UST taking set number 4, 25-16. And they are through to the finals of this men's volleyball tournament. And they will face the undefeated NU Bulldogs. On the other hand, Ateneo will go to the 3rd and 4th place match. They will face Perpetual. And we now turn you over to our courtside reporter, Mika Madrid, who is with our player of the game.
Salamat Lawrence and Marge. Again, kasama ko si Josh Ibanez ng Growling Tigers as our player of the game. Josh, congratulations. Kahit hindi naging maganda yung simula ninyo kanina, you were on fire starting set number 3 and your attacks are what kept the energy of your team going. So anong ginawa nyo at nabaliktad nyo ang storya para sa inyong kupunan?
Ano po, parang nung una kasi parang shaky yung ano namin. I mean, hindi ganun katibay yung pasa namin. Kaya parang puro buka lang, puro ano lang, walang mga combination plays or walang mga fast plays na ano, di namin nagawa yung mga fast plays namin na ano, tinitraining namin. I mean, ginagawa namin sa training. Tapos nung sa second set hanggang fourth set, ayun nga, parang nag-usap kami kasi ano, hinati namin yung lugar kung ano yung ano, kung saan kami papasa lang. Kaya ayun, parang mas tumibay yung depensa, tumibay yung pasa at ayun, parang nakagawa ng mga set plays namin.
At talaga namang nag-reflect yun for all of you guys in the remaining sets. Ngayon, alam kong may mga nanonood kang friends. Sa family mo, sa fans mo, ito na yung pagkakataon mo para batiin sila.
Binabati ko po yung pamilya ko dyan sa General Santos City at mga relatives ko sa General Santos City. And sa lahat ng mga sumusuporta sa amin, sa UST Men's Volleyball Team, maraming salamat po.
Again, congratulations Josh sa iyo at sa iyong kupunan. Back to you, Lawrence at Marge.
Maraming salamat, Mika Madrid. Excellent job bringing us the updates from the sidelines. So check out the highlights from the entire game. So basically, Josh Ibanez summarized the entire narrative of this game.
Yes.
The passing, when it started to work,
Yes.
delivered all the goods for UST throughout the game. Doon na sumunod yung yung net
Yes.
defense nila and yung kanilang mga atake.
Ayun nga, it's a big factor talaga na you start off with your first balls well. Kasi nga, and it shows na itong si Lawrence Cruz and Yambao were able to set up their attackers well.
Yeah, and a quick turnaround also on the part of Ateneo because it seemed like they had all the momentum in the world after winning set number 1, 27-25. How did they quickly lose that momentum in this game? That's why they fell to UST.
Well, for one, no, talaga, their struggle when it comes to putting up their first balls is what had been, costly for Ateneo in starting the second set.
Yeah, and that good tournament so far for the Blue Eagles, ending with them going to the 3rd and 4th place match. Meanwhile, etong UST, their crowd here inside the Paco Arena ecstatic because their team is through to the finals and they will face NU in that gold medal battle.
And it's a big factor kasi, UAP season is coming in next year. And, this kind of ranking, could be a big factor when it comes to once they start the UAAP season. But then again, bilog ang bola and anything could happen. And, these rankings, they could matter from the start. But then, it could still be a different situation.
Yeah,
like on how, the players are going to play for that.
Yeah, good confidence booster on the part of UST. And we check out some of the players who played in the semifinal matchup. That's Cali Blunted and also Dax Yambao. Josh Ibanez was selected in this game. And also Prudenchado and G-Boy De Vega. Abalianos, they'll fall short. And that will do it in our coverage for this game, this quadruple header inside the Paco Arena, wherein UST punches their ticket to the finals against NU. And that does it for the V-League today.